They say we've mapped every corner of the Earth. But what if that's the biggest lie ever told? What if beneath your very feet, right now, there exists an ancient, advanced civilization hidden from our eyes, a civilization so old, so powerful, and so secret that the world's governments and scientific institutions have conspired for over a century to keep it buried, literally. This isn't just myth or legend. From ancient texts to leaked military missions, from sealed Antarctic expeditions to suppressed testimonies of pilots, soldiers, and whistleblowers, the signs all point to something real, a vast, mysterious world existing inside our own planet. And tonight, you're going to hear the truth they never wanted you to hear. But before we dive into the depths of this hidden empire, make sure you've subscribed, because this journey isn't just one video. This is the beginning of unraveling the biggest cover-up in human history. Let's begin. Throughout history, nearly every ancient culture has spoken of a world beneath the earth. The Greeks told of Hades. The Buddhists speak of Agharta. The Hindus mention Patala. The Christians describe hell not in the clouds but below. And Native American tribes like the Hopi and the Mandan spoke clearly of their ancestors emerging from underground cities after cataclysmic disasters on the surface. But were these just spiritual metaphors, or coded memories of something very real? In the early 20th century, a man named Ferdinand Ossendowski traveled deep into Mongolia and heard local legends of a subterranean kingdom called Agharta, a place of immense power, ruled by a hidden king who could see events happening across the surface of the earth. These stories were so consistent across cultures, despite thousands of miles and centuries apart, that even Nazi Germany took them seriously. That's right. The Nazis launched secret missions to find entrances to this inner earth. Why? Because they believed the key to ultimate power lay beneath our feet, and they weren't the only ones. In 1947, Admiral Richard Byrd, one of the most decorated U.S. naval officers, led Operation High Jump, an enormous military expedition to Antarctica. But what started as a simple exploration mission quickly turned into something else entirely. According to Byrd's own accounts, many of which were mysteriously removed or edited from official records, he encountered an area of the continent with vast green valleys, warm climates, and even signs of vegetation. Byrd later spoke, cryptically, of flying beyond the pole and encountering flying crafts that outmaneuvered American planes. He described beings who warned humanity of its destructive path, beings that lived not on the earth but in it. And then silence. Official records were sealed. Witnesses vanished. Byrd died in obscurity. And Antarctica was quickly placed under the Antarctic Treaty System, locking down access to the continent for scientific cooperation. But to this day, military bases remain. Why? What's there that we're not allowed to see? Now let's fast forward to modern times. Satellite images occasionally capture strange anomalies, heat signatures, magnetic disturbances, and massive cave systems that seem to descend for miles, especially beneath regions like Antarctica, the Himalayas, and the Amazon. But those images disappear almost as fast as they're noticed. In 2018, scientists working near the South Pole discovered something that shocked even them. Using seismic data, they found evidence of a colossal structure buried beneath the ice, spanning over 150 miles. But they couldn't explain what it was. Was it geological or architectural? They called it anomalous. And then the media moved on. No follow-ups, no investigations. Just another mystery buried and forgotten. But here's where it gets stranger. In 2021, a retired military pilot, anonymous for security reasons, claimed to have flown near the Antarctic coast during a covert operation. He reported seeing a massive cavern opening, big enough for an aircraft to enter. As he approached, his instruments began to fail, and his radar blacked out. He was ordered to abort. When he reported what he saw, he was debriefed, sworn to silence, and reassigned. Similar stories have emerged from the Amazon, where researchers claim to have found enormous, unexplored underground tunnel networks stretching for hundreds of miles, some carved with precision that suggests advanced machinery. And yet, no mainstream scientific body wants to explore them. Why? Because if these tunnels, caverns, and anomalies were exposed, if it were proven that intelligent life still exists beneath our surface, our entire understanding of history, evolution, and global power would shatter. Now let's revisit Agharta, According to ancient Tibetan texts, Agharta is not just a city, it's a vast empire, a peaceful, enlightened civilization that once existed on the surface, but retreated underground after global cataclysms, possibly floods, pole shifts, or even wars with surface dwellers. They supposedly possess advanced technology, energy weapons, anti-gravity crafts, and machines that can manipulate the weather. Not science fiction. Ancient records say this outright. Could these be the same gods ancient civilizations referred to? The same beings the Sumerians, Egyptians, and Mayans described with wings, flying discs, and immense wisdom? Many believe so. In fact, the theory of hollow Earth, a concept that the Earth has a hollow core with openings at the poles, was supported by some of history's most brilliant minds, including Edmund Halley, the astronomer who discovered Halley's Comet. He theorized in 1692 that Earth was composed of concentric spheres, possibly supporting life within. But over the years, the hollow Earth theory was ridiculed. Not disproven, just dismissed. Ask yourself why. Why does modern science openly entertain the possibility of parallel dimensions, dark matter, and extraterrestrial life, yet scoffs at the idea of a civilization hidden inside our own planet? Is it because it's impossible? Or because it's too dangerous? Here's a thought. If there is a hidden empire beneath the surface, and if they've watched human civilization rise and fall for thousands of years, wouldn't they see us now as a threat? Or worse, wouldn't they already have influence? Let's not forget, many conspiracy theorists, whistleblowers, and ancient historians believe world elites may already know about inner Earth civilizations. Some believe the deepest underground bunkers, the so-called DUMBs, deep underground military bases, are not just for protection but for contact. Even the Denver airport, infamous for its bizarre art and underground structures, has been linked to rumors of subterranean activity and secret tunnels connecting it to hidden facilities far beneath the Rockies. Could it be that humanity is not the dominant species on this planet after all, that we are the surface children, playing with fire while ancient watchers observe silently below? In the end, the truth may not lie in space, not in Mars, not in distant galaxies, but beneath us, right now. And if even a fraction of these legends, leaks, and findings are true, then we must ask ourselves one haunting question. Have we truly explored Earth? Or have we only skimmed the skin, while something far older and far wiser watches from the shadows below? Because maybe, just maybe, Earth is not what we think it is, and the real rulers of this world are still hiding in plain sight. Make sure you're subscribed, because this is just the beginning.